Why do women lose closeness in marriage over time? Surprisingly, did you know that over 60% of women begin to feel emotionally distant from their husbands as they age? You'd think that after decades of marriage, feelings should only grow stronger, right? However, for many women, the opposite happens. They gradually pull away, lose interest, and feel increasingly lonely. But why does this happen? It doesn't occur suddenly. It's a gradual accumulation of unnoticed efforts, unspoken emotions, and unfulfilled needs. Over time, these issues create an emotional gap. In this video, we'll examine the 10 main reasons for this phenomenon and, most importantly, how to avoid it. Read to the end. It could radically change your perspective on love and marriage. 1. The emotional burden becomes unbearable. For years, many women serve as the emotional foundation of family. They remember birthdays, plan celebrations, organize children's schedules, and take care of the home. This invisible work can be exhausting. And what's worse, often it goes unnoticed. The question arises, how long can a person continue to give without receiving acknowledgement in return? Over time, the burden of these responsibilities becomes too heavy. Eventually, a woman begins to feel undervalued and may even wonder, does anyone notice everything I do? Meaningful conversations disappear. Remember the early days of your relationship. How often did you and your partner talk for hours about your dreams, hopes, and fears? Now, do all your conversations revolve around discussing who will buy groceries or pay bills? Such a change in communication is common, but also painful. Women need more than superficial talks. They want to feel heard. They need to know that their partner is still interested in their inner world. When this connection disappears, the question arises, how much do these relationships still fulfill me? 3. Endless household duties. Many women find themselves carrying the burden of household chores even after retirement. They continue to cook, clean, and maintain order. It's not just about physical fatigue. There's also a growing sense of injustice. Have you ever wondered, why do I always have to be the one who does this? If a man doesn't help and take responsibility, love can turn into disappointment. Daily tasks can feel like a burden rather than a partnership. And over time, this burden becomes too heavy. 4. One grows, the other stays in place. As they age, women often discover new passions and interests. They want to travel, learn, and develop. But what happens when their partner doesn't share these aspirations? She begins to feel stuck. Have you ever wondered, am I growing in this relationship or am I standing still? When one partner grows and evolves while the other remains unchanged, it creates an emotional gap that's difficult to bridge. If you're evolving but your partner isn't, it's natural to feel that you're moving in different directions. 5. Physical and emotional intimacy begin to fade. For many women, intimacy is more than physical contact. It's the feeling of being valued, seen, and desired. But what happens when a husband stops showing affection, giving compliments, or simply paying attention? Think about this. Do I feel valued by my partner? Does he see me the same way as before? When a woman stops feeling desired, she begins to emotionally distance herself. It's not just about the absence of physical intimacy, but also the absence of emotional connection. 6. Retirement changes the dynamics of relationships, not always for the better. Retirement is often viewed as a time for rest and reconnection. But for many couples, it brings unexpected challenges. A husband who has worked for many years may suddenly feel lost without his job and look to his wife for entertainment. Does this sound familiar? Am I now expected to entertain him? When there's no space for separate hobbies or interests, a woman begins to feel trapped. Instead of freedom, she may feel overwhelmed by her partner's constant presence. The result? Exhaustion instead of joy. 7. She stops feeling noticed and valued. The most painful thing in a relationship isn't always major arguments. It's the quiet feeling of invisibility. When a woman feels that her words don't resonate, she stops trying. Have you ever had the feeling that you're speaking, but no one is really listening? When a woman feels unheard, the connection begins to weaken. And once she stops trying to communicate, love begins to fade. It's the little things, moments when she feels truly seen, that maintain the strength of a relationship. 8. She realizes that life is short. As they age, women begin to reflect more deeply on their lives. They lose friends, attend funerals more frequently, and understand that time is not infinite. And this raises an important question. Am I truly happy where I am now? She begins to ask herself, am I living the life I dreamed of? Do I feel loved and valued? Is this how I want to spend my remaining years? If the answers to these questions are unsatisfactory, it's natural to start distancing oneself, not out of anger, but from a desire for self-preservation. 9. The husband stops showing that she's important. Many men think that staying in the marriage is enough to prove their love. But for women, the little things matter. Kind words, support, small gestures. She needs to feel appreciation every day. Have you ever wondered, does my partner care about the little things I do for him? If these signs of attention stop, a woman feels less valued. And when she feels less important, love begins to fade. 10. Love doesn't disappear. It just stops being nourished. In long-term relationships, love doesn't disappear at once. It slowly, quietly fades over time, getting lost among daily responsibilities and unspoken feelings. But there's good news. Love can be revived. The question is, are you willing to make the effort? Are you ready to choose love again every day? When a husband begins to notice his wife, listen to her, and show how important she is, the connection can be restored. Love isn't automatic. It's a choice you make every day. Reviving love in your marriage. Long-term relationships require effort. It's easy to get lost in daily routines and forget about your partner's emotional needs. But when a woman feels unheard, unnoticed, or underappreciated, the connection begins to fade. The truth is that love is a choice, and it needs to be made every day. If you feel the distance in your relationship growing, don't wait for things to improve on their own. Take action. Show your partner that you care, listen to their needs, and prioritize your connection. Love isn't something that just happens. It's something you create and nurture every day.